Stop the Steal movement continues to plot to reverse the will of the American people. Major landslide in eastern parishes in Jamaica. Prisoner jump from second floor and escape from court just before being sentenced. Cavaliers are through to the finals of the 2024 CONCACAF Caribbean Cup. This is Undiluted News. Mikey Bones reporting. There is a great threat to democracy in this country. The Stop the Steal movement is priming Trump supporters to believe the election is already rigged and vow to overturn the results if he loses already. Some of the same activists who tried to overturn former President Donald Trump's 2020 loss outlined a step-by-step guide to undermining the results if and when he falls short again. For months, these activists who have been priming Trump supporters to believe the only way the former president can lose in 2024 is through fraud, they have now laid out proposals to thwart a potential Kamala Harris victory. Their plans include challenging results in court, pressuring lawmakers to block election certification, and encouraging protests culminating on January 6, 2025, the day Congress will once again certify the result. Trump allies and the former president himself are increasingly pushing debunked claims of voter fraud, spreading their rhetoric through podcasts with massive audiences, megachurch sermons, and political rallies in key states. MAGA activists have been planning to undermine a potential Harris victory well in advance of the election, with some even arguing that state legislators should simply ignore the election results and award electoral votes to Trump by default. Some Trump backers, including pastors associated with Christian nationalist ideas, have described the election as a fight between good and evil, describing Harris as the Antichrist or suggesting that God has anointed Trump as the victor. The man cannot even repeat the Lord's Prayer or even read it, but they think that he's some saint. Some preacher even said God told them Trump would win by a landslide in 2020, and he lost by several millions to Joe Biden, which would make it look like God is telling a lie. Anyway, for them God different from mine. Remember how election used to be peaceful before 2016? Election used to take place and we don't even know or remember to vote. Well, here comes MAGA and everywhere is violence and upheaval. People, please go out and vote for every Democrat on the ballot straight from top to bottom. Our future and stability depends on it. A handful of people who have been sheltering at the Rocky Point Community Center in Clarendon since Hurricane Beryl are scrambling to find new accommodation after the facility was ordered closed by authorities. 9 adults and a baby have been living at the temporary shelter since July 3rd hurricane. A representative from the Ministry of Labor and Social Security told the group that they should vacate the facility effective today, but shelter manager Althea Brown said some people have requested additional time to get their affairs in order, and a short extension has since been granted for them to leave by next Wednesday, November 6. She said some of the 10 people who remained at the shelter have managed to find alternative accommodation, but 3 others will still have nowhere to go. The National Work Agency said its crews have been dispatched to St. Mary, Portland and St. Anne to clear major landslides and roadblocks caused by heavy showers on the northeastern end of the island. The crews are still working to clear sections of the Junction Main Road, which is partially blocked due to landslides and fallen rocks. Single-lane access has been restored to a section of the roadway after a team from the NAA managed to clear some of the debris from the landslides on Wednesday. NAA Communications Manager Stephen Shaw said sections of the Junction Main Road are badly damaged. Meanwhile, the police are continuing their search for a prisoner who escaped from the Supreme Court yesterday morning. The prisoner, 22-year-old Anthony Williams, jumped from the Supreme Court building and made his escape despite a police chase in downtown Kingston. Shortly after 11 o'clock, Williams, who had been found guilty of possession of a firearm, was about to be sentenced when he dashed from the prisoner's dock, ran through the corridor past members of the force, and jumped from the second floor of the Supreme Court building, and it is believed that he also injured himself. Williams, otherwise called Pops, was sentenced to 18 years in prison in his absence on Thursday. He was sentenced by Justice Callis Wiltshire for illegal possession of firearm and assault at common law. He was already in prison serving 12 years for illegal possession of a weapon and 14 years for wounding. The Ministry of National Security says since July 2023, the government has spent close to $30 million to support Haitian migrants who remain in Jamaica, and this includes costs associated with shelter, meals, healthcare needs, and other humanitarian supplies. At present, there are approximately 99 Haitian migrants in state custody, 73 of whom are under an interim injunction issued by the Supreme Court to stay deportation from Jamaica. A 23-year-old farmer from St. Thomas is facing gun charges after he was caught with a weapon which was later discovered to be an imitation firearm. Charged with possession of a prohibited weapon is Jermaine Davis of a Whitehall address in the parish. According to reports from the Morant Bay Police, a patrol team was on duty in the area on Tuesday, October 29, when they observed Davis standing on the roadway. Upon seeing the police, Davis threw a black object to the ground, and he was accosted, and upon further inspection, the object was revealed to be a fake firearm. He was arrested, and his court date is now being arranged. Meanwhile, some Jamaican users of the ride-sharing platform Uber are facing unexpected liens on their account due to chargebacks for past rides. The issue stemmed from a technical glitch affecting payments for customers using National Commercial Bank Visa debit cards. Neither Uber nor NCB have released official statements on the matter, leaving affected users in confusion. Reports have surfaced of customers being billed hundreds of thousands of Jamaican dollars for rides previously thought to have been paid for. Some people's accounts have been billed 30 rides in an hour, some being charged hundreds of thousands of dollars. The one time I ever used Uber for a $50 charge, they charged me $100. I never take them again. So they're bad in Jamaica and bad right here in this country. On to sports, Jamaica Premier League champions Cavaliers FC are through to the finals of the 2024 CONCACAF Caribbean Cup after defeating Mocha FC of the Dominican Republic 7-0 in their semi-finals return leg at the National Stadium on Wednesday. And after drawing their first leg in the Dominican Republic 0-0 last week, Cavaliers were in a rampant mood and were ahead by 2 goals after just 6 minutes. Shaquille Stein scored a hat-trick for Cavaliers, who will play in the 2025 CONCACAF Champions Cup by virtue of advancing to the final of the Caribbean Cup, and will be the only Jamaican team in the 27-team competition, which is set to kick off in February next year. And this will be their second appearance in this regional tournament after making their debut last year, according to a release from the Jamaica Football Federation. There will be no Da Costa Cup matches today, but Manning Cup round of 16 will continue today, with Group 1 last place team St. Jago facing Campion College, who needs a win to advance. Mona, who are already qualified for the round of 8, will face St. George's, who also need a win to move ahead. Hydel, who is on 3 points, will need a win against the Wolmers to be sure of advancing to the round of 8, while even with a win, it might not be enough for Wolmers to advance. Kingston College, meantime, who already qualified for the round of 8 with 6 points, will face a dangerous St. Andrew Tech, who are on 1 point. However, a win for St. Andrew Tech might still not be enough for them to advance. And if you missed the news on this station, please go to YouTube, type in Jamerican Undiluted News, listen, like, share, and subscribe to keep it going. My name is Mikey Bones. Have a wonderful weekend, and don't forget to go out and vote. I gone.